Northeastern Zone and co-organizing secretary of this zonal symposium, respected President of Indian Phytopathological Society, Dr. P.K. Chakrabarty, sir, respected Secretary, Indian Phytopathological Society, and organizing chairman of this zonal symposium, Dr. Robin Gogoi, sir, respected co-chairman and joint secretary, Indian Phytopathological Society, Dr. K.K. Montal, sir, and treasurer, Indian Phytopathological Society, and convener, Dr. Malcolm Singh, sir. Respected seniors and esteemed members of Indian Phytopathological Society, and my dear students. First of all, I would like to acknowledge our Creator, Almighty God, for His bountiful blessings and grace in enabling this time and making the symposium possible. With immense pleasure, I would like to extend a heartiest welcome to everyone to this virtual zonal symposium of Indian Phytopathological Society, Northeastern Zone, on plant disease management, experiences, and aspirations. We are extremely glad and would like to extend a very hearty thanks to each and every one of you for responding positively to participate in this virtual symposium. It is kind of sad that we are unable to meet face to face. How I wish that we were meeting physically. Actually, when we were given the opportunity and privilege of facilitating the activities of Indian Phytopathological Society in the Northeastern Zone, we intended that this zonal symposium will be held at our beautiful Mezipema campus of Nagaland University, School of Agricultural Sciences and Rural Development, under the auspices of the Department of Plant Pathology. But we all know that disruptions from COVID-19 have affected numerous aspects of our daily life and have impacted holding our symposium physically as well. Nevertheless, I must mention our sincere appreciation of our Indian Phytopathological Society headquarters and the authorities there who has dexterously navigated the present situation by adopting the rapid transition of going virtual. In fact, the present team of Indian Phytopathological Society office bearers have brought about a lot of positive changes and many first time in the history of the Indian Phytopathological Society in spite of this trying time. From the organizational point of view of the Indian Phytopathological Society, Northeastern Zone comprises of 8 sister states: Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, and Tripura. Now, in line with the objectives and also to secure the activities of our society, the Northeastern Zone, the Indian Phytopathological Society chapter of the Northeastern Zone, has also been holding annual meetings and symposia regularly. And here we are, this year also, organizing this virtual symposium. I am so proud and privileged to also inform that members of this region have made significant contribution in the progress of plant pathology and have won awards of the society and have been elected fellows of the society in recognition of their contributions and achievements. Some of the notable members are our very own present Indian Phytopathological Secretary, Dr. Robin Gogoi, sir, Professor G.K.N. Chetri of Manipur University and former Vice Chancellor of Sikkim State University, and Professor Ashok Bhattacharya, the present Vice Chancellor of Assam Women's University, who is also the Director Research of Assam Agricultural University, just to name a few. Just in the recent years, a lot of our students from the Northeast have also has the distinction of winning the Academic Excellence Awards, Narasimhan Awards, and so on and so forth. It is very pertinent and imperative to mention that the northeastern region is quite diverse and complex in terms of geotopography, agricultural practices, and farming systems, with tremendous biodiversity of cultivated crop species, their wild genotypes, as well as races and strains of pathogens. Northeast region also shares a large transboundary sector with 6 neighboring countries, which makes the region quite permeable and exposed to different spectrum of new diseases and pathogens. Furthermore, there is an increasing need to enhance agricultural production in the region to meet the demands of the ever-growing population. So, in this entire backdrop, this symposium envisages to deliberate and to bring to light the various efforts, experiences, and aspirations of researchers, educationists, and scientists in the region in protecting the crop plants and thereby improving productivity. During these 2 symposiums, keynote lectures will be delivered by 2 eminent academicians of the Northeast, and lead lectures will be delivered by 4 very active and knowledgeable scientists of the region. And there will also be technical sessions, 4 technical sessions with selected oral paper presentations. E-poster session and award contest session of Professor M.J. Narasimhan Academic Award and IPS Travel Grant will be held on the 2nd day. And so, without further ado, I once again extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you and convey my good wishes for a rewarding and fruitful symposium. Thank you so very much. Have a beautiful and gratifying day ahead.
Thank you very much, Professor H. Now, President IPS Northeast Zone, for his beautiful welcome address. Now, may I request Dr. Robin Goy, Organizing Chairman and Secretary IPS, to share the IPS activity with the delegates.
Slide mode. Slide mode. Okay, good morning, everybody. Esteemed members of Indian Phytopathological Society and President of the Society, Dr. P.K. Chakraborty sir, Dr. T.M. Ranao, Zonal President, and Dr. Susanto Bonik, Zonal Councillor of Northeastern IPH Zone, and my fellow colleague and my team members is Dr. Kalyan Mandal, Grand Secretary, Dr. Malkhan Singh, Treasurer, and loving all the members and also dear students. Today we are assembling to meet each other virtually, of course, in this long-awaited annual function of this zonal meeting, is the Northeastern Zone Indian Phytopathological Society. So at the outset, just I want to brief about the society. Most of our faculty members and scientists know about the society, how old this is. But for the information to the student, actually I am highlighting this one. And this is main address to the students and research workers who are new to this forum. Indian Phytopathological Society, or popularly known as IPS, it was established in the year 1947 by Dr. Balachandra Bhavani Shankar Munkur. So from his sincere leadership, he was very much tuned and is quite aggressive to establish, and for him only we are blessed to assemble in such a very nice national platform. And after establishment in the year 1947, this society got registration. So in the year 1949, next. And the objectives of the society during that time only formulated. So you can go through these objectives in our IPS website, but I feel we have to slightly modify, because as we know, the plant pathology in India, not only in India, in the world, initially, if you go back to history, so it was initiated with the works related to mycology. That's why most of the aspects were emphasized on mycology sector of this plant pathology branch. Actually, it was bifurcated from the discipline of botany and separated as plant pathology department or discipline. And in their discipline, newly created discipline, mycology was the first preference to for thorough study. But nowadays, so after a long time, so we have seen, so not only, it is not only including this studying the mycology or fungal pathogens, but bacteriology and also virology, even newly added molecular aspects also very much popular, which are very much needed also. Those things with that, so that we are planning to hold, so revise this revision of this objective for the society. Next. And we are very much proud, and also the student members and newly joined research scholars, you will also be proud that if you join this society, because this is the largest society in India in the discipline of plant pathology, and third largest society in the world with respect to the number of members. Next. And we know this society is having this 8 zones, and each zone is having this different numbers of members. And today we are assembling in the northeast zone, where only it is figure 97, but it is more than 97 at present. Next, please. So a few activities I would like to highlight here. So we know that for any society or for any social organization, one mirror is their publication. So this is the face-lifting publication, Indian Phytopathology, where so our research works are accommodated in terms of publication. There's a full-length paper, review article, and short communication, then book review, then obituary, some of the new reports, etc. And for last 2 years, initially it was published by Indian Phytopathological Society independently, and for the last 2 years, so it has been published so under the international publisher Springer. So that's why its circulation has become very, very wider now. So whenever you are able to publish your any article, research article, immediately it is disseminating to the large number of readers. Next. So for the last 2 years, we started publishing Indian Phytopath News. It is a newsletter. So Indian Phytopath News. So here first-hand information you can flash, and I am not going to elaborate this aspect, Indian Phytopath News. So I request my colleague, Dr. Kalyan Mandar, Joint Secretary, he is editor presently of this Indian Phytopath News, about the elaborative and also description about on this Indian Phytopath News. This is the quarterly newsletter. Next. And as I mentioned that time to time, this Indian Phytopathological Society publishes books. So here few publications, the cover pages I'm flashing. So you can get from our you can have the glimpse from our IPS website. And another activity, major activity of this IPS, to hold conferences, symposia, brainstorming session, etc. And so far, so IPS has conducted organized 7 international conferences, and the 7th one was organized this year in the month of January. That was from 16th to 22nd January 2020. And first, this international conference was organized on 2nd January in the year 1948 at Patna. And in addition to those international symposia and also conferences, 72 national conferences have been organized so far. And the society, So always try to encourage, appreciate the sincere workers and good publisher in the field of plant pathology. So the society is has instituted the 17 awards total. So earlier there were 14 awards, and last year it was 3 awards were added. The first award was instituted in the year 1962 in the name of B.B. Munkur, who is the founder of this society. Next. And here I'd like to mention that this year also, because these awards are for nomination also, competition for awards, this link will be open from 15th of this month for this year, 2020 and 2021. And few of the recent activities I'd like to show here. But very recently, we have just improvised our society office. So we are trying to make it almost electronic type, and which was inaugurated by our esteemed the President, Dr. P.K. Chakraborty, and our head and Dean, Madam, Dr. Rashmi Agrawal, and our very old my teacher, as well as senior member and also former Secretary of IPS, Dr. S.C. Chatterjee sir, and also in presence of Dr. Dinesh Singh, he was also holding secretaryship in my previous tenure. So this is also another glimpse inside this newly renovated IPS office, from where actually we are today conducting this meeting. And here some of this upgradation have been made: online payment, then creation of subdomain of website. You can find a revision of the website, which was there earlier 1 month before. You won't find that one. So revised one you will get. Still we are working so to make it error free and more improvised. Also payment of registration fee can also be done online mode. Then in case of any symposia, brainstorming session, we are creating some provision for online submission of the abstract. Then also online election. For online election, so I would like to mention here or make announcement. This year we are going to hold this election in the virtual mode, this online mode, as well as this offline mode, both online and offline. Actually, for online, those members that have giving or having the this registered email ID and also mobile number, so they can participate. And for those members who are not having, or IPS society doesn't have their proper or recent this email ID and mobile numbers, so for them we have arranged this offline this mode of this taking participation in the IPS election. And similarly, online this application, as I mentioned already, that it will be opened, that link will be opened from 15th of December. And online, this nomination will be started today from 12 noon. So that's why you can nominate some of your this known these persons for the post of president. And also from your zone, you have to nominate zonal president and zonal councillors, their names. Next, please. And you see, I mentioned that through online mode, okay, you can electronic mode, you can transfer your this membership or any other this payment. And in addition to that, online mode, internet banking. So we have created another link through Paytm, which you can do from your this handy mobile. Next, please. And just now I have announced that we are after 1.5 hours, we are going to open the link for nomination through online mode for the voting system. Actually, it is not exactly voting, this is nomination. First, you have to nominate your preferred candidates who should be member of our society. And after a given time period, so that ballot paper will be finalized for final voting. And the result and counting and results will be declared in the annual meeting, which we are planning to hold in the month of this mid part of March 2021. And in this case, for IPS election, just I am giving some hints. Everything will be giving that flow chart, how to follow, how to put your nomination or to your interested candidate. So you have to open the website of IPS, IPS, then you go to the election, then you click it, then you have to feed the user ID, that is your registered mobile. And after that, if you proceed, so one OTP you will be getting in your registered mobile number. If your mobile number is not registered with our society directory, so you won't receive any OTP. Otherwise, in registered email ID, you will get OTP. Means two ways of getting OTPs, either through email or this mobile or through both. So next. So this is the actually home page, and award nomination also I have declared this. We are going to start to receiving this application from 15th of December, and it will continue up to 31st January 2021. So this is the first phase of that application, and we know, so among all this zonal chapters, already Southern Zone has completed their symposium. It was held 1st and 2nd December, 1 week back, and we are very proud and we are enjoying today. So we are assembling for this zonal symposium from this zone, northeastern zone, which is going on today. Click. So this is the northeastern zone symposium, and rest 6 zones also are going to organize their respective symposia. So already timeline has been set. So thank you from my side, and I wish you all the best, and also welcome to this virtual symposium of Northeastern Zone of IPS. I request my colleague, Dr. Kalyan Mandal, and also Joint Secretary, to brief about the, not brief, actually detail about the Indian phytopath news.
So thank you, Rania. Good morning, a very good morning to all of you, and respected President of IPS, Dr. P.K. Chakraborty, and my senior colleague and secretary, Dr. Ravin Gogoi, and treasurer, Dr. Malkhan Singh, and our Northeast Zone President, Dr. Tiameran Au, and our councillor, Dr. Bonik, Sushant Bonik. A very good morning to all the team members and who are attending this journal symposia. And I think it is a great challenge for us to conduct such kind of virtual meeting from the very beginning due to this COVID pandemic. But there is a lot of changes in this IPS. Particularly, I will focusing on the changes what we got with respect to the newsletter, because newsletter, you can say it's a briefing about all the recent activities of the particular whole the nation span India. So we have with valuable suggestions from our president, Dr. P.K. Chakraborty, we have recently made some changes which are very important, and I think I should highlight those changes for the benefit of the members, extreme members, so that they can contribute their inputs to this phytopath news. So first of all, this is a widely circulated news. So any important information with respect to research, highlights, new disease, new pathogens identified, emerging problems with related to any crop protections that may be incorporated in this phytopath news, but it should have a authentic publications tag. That means either it has already been published somewhere, so we can just beep the news, all this above. So that will help us to screen, because unauthenticated news we cannot publish directly to the phytopath news. Then another important information we incorporated that is the policy issues. What are the changes in the policy issues with respect to plant protections? And we also added one column, that is the level column, a level claim expansion of new agri-chemicals or products, bioagent, registers. So all these things, informations with respect to the latest updates, will be providing in this phytopath newsletter. And beside this, these will also include the awards and honors of our esteemed members of the society. And there are also important news column, that is recent crop protection news. That section has been named as plant protection medley. So in these sections, we can just give some important information, flashes of important informations on these different crop protection related newses. And beside this, we can also accommodate genome announcement. But again, the genome announcement should have a submissions to the public domain, and it should need to be published somewhere in the reputed journals. So beside this, we are also having we can also include new protocols, patent, and again the patent may be published or filed, that a new protocol may be published. So beside this, we also accommodate in this phytopath news the book, recently book written, but the book must have to be reviewed after publications with at least one good reviewer, and that reviewing content should be submitted along with the book. So until this basic requirement, we cannot include all these book or important research inputs. Besides this, there are a lot of scope for the new products, and particularly those for the companies and private sectors. They can push forward their new product, but only through a particular column. And we have already given some you can say stipulated charges for that. So this will make their product more wide circulations among the phytopathology families, or you can say the plant protection families. So with this, I think there is a lot of changes in this phytopath news, and you can see some of the changes already incorporated in the last two phytopath news journal. So news. So with this, I wish a congratulations to all the organizers, particularly with this Northeast Zone's councillor and president and councillors, to take all these things. And we wish this symposia a great success ahead. Thank you. Over to T.
Bani, sir.
Bani.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Robin Gogoi, for greatly elaborating the activities of IPS to the delegates of this symposium. And also thanks to Dr. Kalyan K. Mondal for informing us about the changes in the Indian phytopath news. So I think this has been very beneficial to the students who have joined this symposium and who are new to the society. Now, may I have the honor to request Dr. P.K. Chakraborty, President IPS and member ASRB, to deliver his address.
Thank you, Dr. Bonik. Thank you, our President of the Northeast Zone, Dr. Au. And thanks my colleagues, Secretary of IPS, Dr. Gogoi, and Dr. Kalyan for elaborating the developments in a nice manner, right from historical perspective to date. So when actually phytopathology was initially separated from botany to, of course, it still is a part of botany, but botany to now a full-fledged department of phytopathology is visible and need has been felt worldwide. Nowadays, botany has taken a back program compared to our phytopathology program, but then nevertheless, botany is the mother of all our sciences. these botanical sciences or pathological sciences. So importance of every science, basic sciences are very important. It is so heartening to see that despite this difficult time of this global pandemic, IPS is continuing with its endeavor to take further the endeavor of IPS and our Indian Phytopathological Society for the development and upliftment of agriculture in the country overall. I see Dr. Rao, Govind Rao. Of course, there are not many participants today, 44, 46 participants till now it is joined. Dr. Pun and my all other committee members. Then there are so many other eminent scientists who are there, and in fact, I expected because our IPS is really struggling and striving hard to so that the pandemic should not affect any advancement in development science. Where so the attention the attendance of this meeting, I expected little more. At least members of that region should attend all of them because that region is very important. Definition of plant pathology, I need not tell you. You are all eminent. Many of you are all teachers, still teaching actively. While the definition of plant pathology remains the same as it was conceived earlier, that is to find the cause, etiology, resulting losses, and control or management of diseases. Earlier, we used to see control, but then having learned through our experience since our independence, we no more tell control. We now use a word because we have to live with the person to management. So, but the opportunities, the challenges, the experiences, and the aspirations of this science of plant pathology has increased tremendously. You can well imagine a time of independence when this particular society was conceived in 1947, when our production was merely 50 million tons, and that too most of it was imported. Today we have now gone to now almost 6 times the production, and we are a self-secure country. We should all be proud of it, and this is notwithstanding the other losses and your efforts which has gone to protect the crop and produce a huge food, and the horticultural production, which was half the that of the food production during the independence, has gone 10 times more. And today, horticulture production has gained a lot of this edge over this, and it is gaining importance because today nutritional security is the endeavor of the country, and disease remains the same. Disease, the amount of the disease which used to be felt because of certain epidemics and epiphytotics. So now this is have become rampant, but those uh, epidemics, with your studies, with your development and advancement in plant pathology and other sciences, it has been curtailed. But the diseases remain the same. It is worldwide, but 25 to 30% of losses is not a small amount of today. So 50 million tons of food crops are lost, which 50 million tons, which used to be produced. Now we are losing 65 million tons, which was not even the produce, and about 70 million tons of food crops because of the diseases today, which was 30 million tons. So the amount of losses which we are able to make, if we can gauge that loss, so we can feed the country till 2030 and even up to 2040, the population which is going to come. Because after a period of time, beyond 2030, our population is going to plateau down. So that's why I'm telling that we will be able to feed the world, even if we are able to, in our nation at least, and then export many of it. So this is the importance of plant protection. Whatever production we make, in due course of time, pathogen or pest, they overcome or knock down the resistance and then start infecting. Now, in today's context, northeastern zone is very important. Northeastern zone and eastern zone. Uh, these are the regions of the country which are strategically important for sustainability of agriculture and for farmers' income and livelihood protection. You know, this is a very important, this region. This region, it holds a great potential and promise in upholding the national prosperity and food and nutritional security, especially because of its high fertility. The soil in that the belt is very fertile, and also because of the assured irrigation, which the other regions of the country may not be able to afford, or we are not. We have 65% of the area in the country is under rain-fed conditions, but none of the areas under northeastern hill region or eastern sector in Indo-Gangetic belt. So we do not suffer those kinds. So we are already having lots of prosperity in that sense, but which the other regions are not having. That's why Government of India expects the second green revolution to emerge from this region, because this has been inclusive area, and Government of India is now seeing the prosperity and potential of this region has to be restored, and the further increase in productivity, nutritional security has to come from this area. This is also because of high humidity, but and rainfall from 1,000 to 2,000 millimeter during the Kharif season, and temperature which is very congenial, 25 to 31 degrees centigrade, 23 to 31 degrees centigrade, for which is favoring our most of the diseases, which including fungi, bacteria, viruses. And now Dr. Rao is there. We know phytoplasma also. Phytoplasma, because which we were not able to diagnose, many of them might have been existing at that time also. MLOs, rickettsia-like organisms, and all those things which we used to call term. Now they have come to be having identity, thanks to Dr. Rao, who has really created, and he can be considered as one of the authority in the country, and we are proud on that. But the management of such kind of diseases are still eluding, like virus diseases. So further climate change with increase in temperature, carbon dioxide, changes in cropping pattern, and intensification of cropping are some of the other factors that encourage lots of emergence of several diseases in the region. This includes, of course, this is not only northeastern region, false smut. False smut, which in our days when we used to study, it was a sporadic, where somewhere it was reported like that. Similarly, crown gall of coriander. Today, false smut has become very rampant, and at least northeast has to get vigilant about that. Maharashtra MP, I have been keeping a track, and I think I saw in this month's newsletter also, it found a mention there. False smut is going to be there. Nobody is aware of it, and it is externally seed-borne, and then they are crushed along with the wheat, or when the wheat seeds are processed. And I have been following last 3 years. There has been successive increase of this disease, but government is still not geared to tackle. But I feel, because northeast and eastern region are the rice bowl of the country, so it should not enter into that region. You should be very vigilant. You should attempt to develop something so that it does not go. Similar is the cases of many other diseases like sheath blight, brown rot, bacterial blight, rice tumor virus. Some of them are new for the region. There are incoming or increasing incidence of powdery mildew disease of many crops, because it is favored by warm climate, humid climate, and warming up due to climate change, which is there in one of your paper from the region has shown that by 2030, it is expected the temperature is expected to increase by 2 degrees centigrade, which is going to make it further vulnerable to pests. Altered epidemiology and modeling needs to be made perfect now. So, because those situations now, we know the etiology of, but how this etiology affects the epidemiology, or is affected by epidemiology, and further for forecasting temperature. Some new diseases that were not known but has emerged in the region, a rhizome rot of ginger and bacterial wilt of king chili, which is the pride of the country, which as a India is known for the most pungent form of chili, and I think this is patented also for the country. So this is such kind of thing. If they are affected with some diseases like Ralstonia and other bacterial diseases and so many other diseases, then we have to care. The region is also infamous. It is not. I'm telling infamous. It is of being the hub of fusarium disease of various crop plants and other diseases which are favored, as said, by warm temperature, threatening the unique commodity for the region. Many of you will know, like orchids are grown there, and then besides the state also have a number of other challenges like state of Sikkim. Sikkim is an organic state, but APIDA report, I don't know whether you have gone through it. Recently, APIDA report in November 2020 says that Sikkim has one of the lowest production statistics in the country. Sikkim, it has 11 times more area under organic agriculture um, than the neighboring West Bengal, but 25 times less production than West Bengal, organic production. And Sikkim has it adopted organic production. You definitely need to have a management practice for organic production, and you can well imagine the state which has converted itself into organic. It has 97 kg export was there compared to 4,000 tons of exports from West Bengal of organic producers happen. So Sikkim, where it is going, obviously biotic stress is one of the major limitations for which plant protection and plant pathology pathologists have a major responsibility of developing disease and pest management strategies for organic system for this region, because the future is in your hand. The second green revolution you have to endeavor through your area. Sikkim again produces 88% of large cardamom of the country. Many of you will be knowing in that region, and 50% of the global demand is met by India. So you know that this particular commodity, it suffers from serious disease like Chirki and Furke disease. Besides that, there are some other new diseases which needs protection. So otherwise, we should not lose these essential commodity, which is a mark of the state, which mark of this northeastern region. Conservation agriculture and direct seeded rice, these are the two areas where many of you might be venturing. You must see, because policy makers are framing, giving lots of subsidies in doing such kind of thing in conservation agriculture, adopting conservation agriculture. How far is it good for our crop protection? Because the very cardinal principle of plant protection is to plow the field every season, where conservation agriculture it discourages that. And because three-fourths, I already said at the last meeting, three-fourths of the life cycle of pathogen or insect pest is passed through the soil. So unless we do, simply we have to have altogether a different crop management practice now. Then, because today conservation agriculture might be good, but after 3 years, 4 years, when pathogen propagules goes in on building and building and building, so what will happen to them? So altogether there can be a bust, a boom and bust kind of thing may happen. So you are the ones which are going to tell, and the government, because government is bankrupt of ideas. You know, government depends upon you, and government has money. It develops some, gives subsidies based on what you feed, but whatever you tell should be a very knowledgeable thing, very uh, very informative thing based on which policies, and you should also be a part of policies. What should be done, what should not be done, whether conservation agriculture has to be practiced, which area it has to be practiced, which area it has not to be practiced. Similarly, government is also going for direct seeded rice, DSR mode. In Tripura region, I have seen lots of problems of that things are coming, but that does not mean that I am discouraging them, because that is to protect or save water and all. But then you have to develop a system. System includes, cropping system includes essentially plant protection measures. DSR, there's a huge increase in VD rice, or what we call it as a red rice problem, which is developing. Lots of new disease, a lot of new weeds are emerging. So that also comes under pest management and protection, all of you. Now, that is the difference which has happened after 60, 70, 80 years of independence, that uh, plant pathology does not remain plant pathology alone. Today, we have to see in a holistic manner. Even IPM has to be in a holistic manner for pest management, not only disease. It is not going to serve on chili if you manage only the disease or ralstonia problem or any spot problem or blight problem, but also you have to see how will you manage simultaneously the white fly problem, sucking pest problem. So all those things. Any state also have the challenge of biosecurity threat and possible agroterrorism. I said again, I will repeat. Recently, a brigadier from Galwan Valley, he was brought by Ministry of Defense to have a biosecurity bill in the country, overseeing the biosecurity not of animal or human being because of the pandemic, but also for the crops. So there is a huge, because this region has a porous border with several countries, smaller countries. Many of these countries have some diseases, and you are not wary of, or you are not aware of the fact in 2016 when we had a sudden um, uh, outbreak of a blast-like disease. Uh, we can say wheat blast from the eastern sector and from Bangladesh, and which has this Bangladesh, we have borders with Bangladesh. Many of our states have borders, and we have uh, uh, raised a vigil with Assam and other areas so that they should be vigilant, so that it should not be. Timely action has been able to much extent to curtail. So plant pathology have to maintain a strict visual for ensuring not only the biosafety for the diseases which are existing and endemic during in the region, but also biosecurity of our crops from any threat from diseases from which are present in the country, neighboring us, not present in our country. I have noticed that northeastern states are always in the forefront of undertaking suitable measures for plant protection. And this I have kept, I have made it a note of it, because for last 3 years I have been seeing that in one or the other way they are holding national symposium and they are participating and they are trying to uphold the biosecurity and biosafety of the crops in the region. I'm glad Northeastern chapter of IPS is holding this zonal conference in the International Year of Plant Protection on the theme Plant Disease Management Experience and and Aspirations. I congratulate both President Thiamaran, Dr. Thiamaran and Dr. Sushant Banik for taking this challenge, and and I have also seen that there are three sessions which lead with the lead lectures and poster sessions dealing with epidemiology, future technology, disease management, and disease management in organic agriculture, which is a very important area which is a need of the country, and besides award competition and other things. So, country has, as I said, has great aspirations from this region because of its potential. You have to protect the unique commodities of this region. I expect that in the International Year of Plant Health, you will make attempts to register. These are some things which I want to say to register and legalize some of the off-label use of pesticide. You should all be knowing, because when I came in plant pathology, many of you are like, I was just like you, but having worked in the in ICR as ADG plant protection, I learned that today we have hardly 15% registered use of pesticide in the on the crop. We have 554 crops in the country, and it should be known to each and every pathologist who are working. There's label claim and label registration. That's why Dr. Kalyan Mandal said that they have included in IPS newsletter that the latest, you cannot use any pesticide which is registered like tebuconazole or any other pesticide which is registered for the same disease on one crop, and cannot introduce into your package of practice for another crop, which will be considered as an illegal and off-label use. Today, earlier we used to import, we never used to think of registering a pesticide. All the pesticides at the time of 1947 and thereafter up to 60s, they are called deemed to be registered pesticide. They were never tested for toxicological test, bioefficacy test, residue test, because there was no scope of our scope. Today, India is at a stage when we are just geared. But the thing is, biosecurity and biosafety or food crops will be huge problem. So all the plant pathologists who are the teachers, I request all of you that must include a lecture, a course in fact, on biosafety and biosecurity. Biosafety includes safety, biosafety from pesticides also, and all the pesticides, hardly 15%. Today, moment you attempt to export some of your commodities, which is protected for crop with any pesticide which is not registered in the for use of the country, will be rejected. So, off-label use of pesticide is rampant. 85% of the crops are receiving off-label use of pesticide. And bioefficacy, which you are advocating in your region, should always be as per CIBRC guidelines. Otherwise, students are getting, you are having lots of resources now, where students are the main resources, they are the main people who are developing data now for the scientists. So there, whenever you lay some experience involving some pesticides or some biopesticides or some biostimulants for pest management, definitely do follow the CIBRC guidelines. Otherwise, your data will remain theoretical, will be restricted to the thesis, pages of thesis, or will be published, not even it will be published. And so those kind of things you must see. That I also would urge upon you to develop and try register some biopesticide which is specific for that region. Nearly 27 to 30 biopesticides are registered in the country. Many of them are developed in the purely tropical regions, but then they are equally used in the northeastern region, or anybody can take it, or Kashmir also it can be taken. But you develop, because biopesticides or IPM or biocontrol is a agroecology based phenomena. So you have to find a strain of trichoderma or whatever antagonist which is specific for your region and advocate the use of that only. And also besides that, specific to agroecology for organic cultivation and developing prediction and forecasting model. These two things, three, four things you need to do for this zone. I congratulate the zonal president, Dr. Chiamaran Au, and councillor Dr. Susanta Banik, and other members of the organizing committee, and all my colleagues from headquarters for organizing this zonal conference in a timely manner. I also congratulate all the eminent scientists and speakers who are going to make the scheduled presentation, and wish all participants a meaningful dialogue during this zonal chapter conference of Northeastern region. Thank you for providing me this opportunity and listening to me. These are some of the ideas, and we should be proud of our science which we are doing. And today you have, as I said, the definition of pathology remains the same, but opportunities have gone humongous. So we have to use the latest technology, diagnostic tools. Some of you, I want to say in 2 to 3 years, developing electronic noses, which can detect the specific volatile organic compounds which emerges out or which emanates from when a pathogen infects the host. A different kind of biochemical it goes out, or volatile organic compound, which can be sensed with the sensor, and you can tell that yes, this blight is because of this. This can also be helpful in for plant volatile. So such kind of technology should be developed, and I am sure today's scientists are much more informed and knowledgeable, and So, and providing me this opportunity. Thank you all. Thank you for being there. And I wish many of you should join this meeting and get to know about it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. P.K. Chakraborty, President IPS and member ASRB, for giving us your deep insight and long experiences of plant pathology with us. You have shared historical perspectives right from the pre-independence days, and then you have talked about food and nutritional security of the country, the lacuna in plant pathology, climate change, priorities of plant pathologists in the Northeast region in particular, and you have actually touched all aspects of plant pathology which are required in the modern days. You have also given us some future directions for plant pathologists in the country and in Northeast in particular. You have talked about holistic approach, even the present problem of biosecurity, biosafety, and agro-terrorism. So thank you very much, sir, for this brilliant address to the delegates of this virtual symposium. And more importantly, you have given us time in spite of your very busy schedule. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
I take this opportunity to also thank our president, uh, Zonal Symposium, Northeast Zone, for delivering the welcome address, and Dr. Robin Gogoi, the organizing chairman and secretary IPS, for guiding us and helping us in all possible manners to hold this first of its kind virtual symposium in the Northeast region for IPS. And also, I thank Dr. Kalyan Mandal for sharing the changes in the Indian Phytopath news to all the members who have attended this symposium. So with this, we come to the closure of this inaugural session. Now, since it is time for getting on to the next session, where we will have two keynote lectures, we can start the keynote lecture session now. So, in this session, we'll have two keynote lectures. First one will be delivered by Professor L.C. Bora, who is an eminent scientist. And I had the honor to introduce, in fact, he is a well-known face in the field of plant pathology. And he's an eminent scientist in plant pathology with 4 decades of experience in teaching and research. Professor Bora has received his MSc degree from Assam Agriculture University, 1981, and PhD from Haryana Agricultural University, Hisar, in 1988. He is currently working as professor and head Department of Plant Pathology, Assam Agriculture University. Professor Bora has extensively pursued research work on plant bacteriology and biological control, including screening, characterization of novel biogens, bioremediation, development of microbial formulations. He has developed microbial bioformulations for disease and pest management. Professor Bora has handled 28 projects, 15 of them as principal investigators and 13 as co-principal investigator. Sir is credited with development of 10 microbial biopesticides for pest and disease management in organic agriculture. Many of these biopesticides are successfully used in farmers' field of Assam and Northeast India. Some of these technologies have been transferred to private sector through MOU. Sir has authored 88 research papers, 10 books, and 25 book chapters. Now, there are many more things to speak about his achievement in his professional career. Now, let us listen to him. Professor Bora will deliver his keynote lecture. Sir, the time is given to you.
Dr. Bonik, may I just interfere or intervene before Dr.
Okay, sir.
Bora takes over? Dr. Bora, I think I was referring to your paper only regarding all the conditions. Congratulations for the nice this your background and your eminence. And Dr. Bonik, my ASRB selection process is going on. So I might have to miss some of these very important lectures because that also I keep on learning from you only. But I will be missing that. Maybe I have to go in between. Sorry for that. But you can go ahead and I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Chakraborty, for your good words.
Thank you.
And also Dr. Panik for saying so many things about me. Probably it's not like that completely. Anyway, thank you. And so my presentation will be related to mostly organic agriculture. And it is, the title I have given is Microbial Intervention for Plant Disease Management, Status, Prospects in Organic Agriculture. It is somehow I have related to the theme of the Symposium, that is Plant Disease Management, Experience and Aspirations. So probably I'll give share my experiences for last 40 years, particularly in the later half, about 20 years. I am working on the development of different technologies required for biological management of diseases. So, respected President, Dr. Chakraborty, Secretary, IPS, the organizing secretary, and co-organizing secretary, Dr. Banik. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts and my experience, also some of the aspirations that I have got still for development of certain technologies in plant disease management. Let me first show the slides. Sorry, there is some problem.
Sir, you bring your file to the desktop, first open, then only share. Yeah.
No, I have done that. I have done that.
Okay.
Yeah. Here. Here. Right. Network availability. Dr. Banik. Dr. Banik. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have got some problem here. Network problem, maybe, I don't know. Please, I shall have to go to another network. Please bear with me.
Is it going to
Dr. Bora, sir.
Yes.
So I request you send your PPT to us, IPS disk, so we can operate from here. ipsdisk@yahoo.com.
As attachment.
Okay. Okay. I'm doing it. Like this.